Hello and welcome back, YouTubers, to another Pokemon Theory. This Pokemon Theory was requested by Brady Rockstar. The theory is that the gym leader Norman looks like gold. So, I have never heard of this or even thought it, but let's first take a look at both the people we're talking about in this theory before we get into it. Norman is the gym leader of Petalburg City Gym. Officially known as Petalburg Gym, he's the father of the player in Pokemon Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald. He is an expert normal type Pokemon handler and hands out the balance badge to any trainer who defeats him. It is stated in the game that he and his family are originally from Johto, and he, as well as the player, have just moved to Hoenn so that he can take up a position of a gym. Well, Whitney is already the normal type gym leader in Johto, so that rules that one out too. So taking over those positions wasn't a possibility, so he moved. Makes sense. But now that you know who he is, let's talk about his Pokemon. He has Slackoff, Slacking, and Vigoroth. Interesting Pokemon indeed. They also make an appearance in the anime, though we're not really talking about those. And most notably, those are also the Pokemon he has in the manga. Mostly. At any rate, Norman himself is an odd man, because Norman is a liar. Why do I say that? Well, let's take one look at Gold, or better known as Ethan, the protagonist of Gold, Silver, Crystal, Heart Gold, and Soul Silver. Ethan has one of the starter Pokemon, and though it is not confirmed the entire team that Ethan actually has at the time of beating Red in the game and things of that nature, most notably Ethan defeated Red and was the champion and collected 16 badges overall. A master trainer indeed. But he, no one knew who his father was. So that's odd. And I'd like to present a different theory here today. Though I'm sure the similarities between Ethan and Norman are pretty apparent. Ethan has black hair, Norman has black hair. That's about it. They're both white. I mean, not really anything else. Anyways, the theory that will be presented here is that Ethan is actually Norman. So how does this come about? Well, there's two theories with this. My theory, and of course another one. That either Ethan is Norman's son, or Ethan is Norman himself. After defeating the League, collecting 16 badges, and defeating the most powerful trainer in the world, Red, Ethan got bored and grew up. And so, unable to do anything else than be a champion, that got old quick, so he decided to try his hand at becoming a gym leader. And there were no spots open in Kanto or Johto, so he decided to take one spot that was open in Hoenn. And the only spot open in Hoenn was the normal types. So this is how things get sketchy. After he started a family, he decided to move over to Hoenn to take his position as the gym leader, but something that doesn't make sense with this theory is the fact that Norman doesn't have a single Johto Pokemon, but yet Norman says he just moved from Johto. So Norman has to be lying, because it's pretty apparent that Norman could have gotten Pokemon from Hoenn and trained them in Johto, but that's very difficult and would seem really hard to do. So Norman must have been in Hoenn beforehand because his Pokemon are pretty high levels in the 30s, and that would mean being a quote-unquote master of the normal type, he had them Pokemon for a minute. So Norman must have already been to Hone once, because you can't get those Pokemon in the Johto or Kanto region. So my theory is that after Ethan got tired of the same old thing, he decided to move his family to Hone and start over with 3 new Pokemon, mastering the normal type and specifying in that type, trying to cut off all ties that he used to have, and just being a humble gym leader. Changing his name completely to Norman so that he could avoid all the press and things of that nature. So that's my only theory. I don't really have any supporting evidence for either one, him being his son or him being him himself, Norman. What's your outlook on this, guys? If you would like to leave a comment in the section below, please feel free. Otherwise, I really, I don't have anything else to say about it. If you want to leave a Pokemon theory you would like me to discuss, please feel free to leave it in the comment section below, and I will give you a shout out if I discuss your Pokemon theory. Once again, guys, thanks for watching, and of course, happy gaming. I hope you enjoyed that video, guys. And now, time for a service announcement from the Maverick Army. Tired of the norm? Is it time for a revolution? Join the rebellion and become a Maverick today by subscribing to Protomario. Remember, together, we can create a new world order of gaming. Mavericks unite.